Hello and welcome to Near Dark Podcast, episode 34. My name is Zombie, and today I'm joined by Angel, Tiger, and Joseph. Today, the night crew is gonna take a vacation to a place we have all been before. Of course, I'm talking about Crystal Lake. Because, as you've already seen by the title of this video, today we are gonna talk about Friday the 13th, Part 3 from 1982. But before we do that, let's see how the rest of the crew is doing. Tiger, how you feeling?
I'm feeling like I'm being used by my family as nothing but a scapegoat for their problems.
Great!
I should correct myself, not a scapegoat, but like a middleman for their problems.
Yeah, it can be tough.
That's
How
always
are
fun.
Right? How are you doing, Angel?
Tired. Because I was up until like 10 a.m. playing games.
10 a.m.
Yeah.
Damn.
How about you, Joseph?
You say damn, Josef, but I'm sure you do the same thing, if not on a way worse scale.
No comment.
See, that's how you know it's true.
Shush it, you. Besides the fact that my back is slowly trying to kill me, I'm pretty good. I'm still fighting up this fucking cold. I think I'm on my 5th week or something with this fucking cold. I've never had cold this long.
Dang.
But besides that, well, I'm alive, so that's something, I guess.
Got a point there.
Yeah.
How are you doing, Zombie?
I'm doing good, a bit tired at the moment, but hey, it's not bad. Recently seen, guys. Have anyone seen any movie recently?
Well,
'Cause I've seen none.
I've been
basically.
binge watching a shit ton of movies, but all of them were action flicks, unfortunately. So I won't talk about any of them here. I
1 hour rant.
did, however, sit down and rewatch The Purge, all 4 of the movies. And the reason was that our own music maestro here on the podcast, Ogge, has been working on a track where he has taken some samples from the movies, the Purge movies. And well, it sort of inspired me to sit down and rewatch them. But I think we talked briefly about them on an earlier episode, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't remember, but that may be before my time.
Perhaps. But but I'm pretty sure we will cover them at some point. So I won't go into them at all. Has anyone else seen anything of note?
Not anything like mention worthy. I haven't watched too many movies lately.
I watched the Pokemon movie, that's about it.
What did you say now, Adrian?
I watched a Pokemon movie, that's about it. Otherwise I've been binge watching movie reviews, because that's the kind of person I am. And I found this pretty good guy, actually. He went to I don't really know what you call it, but I think he went to school to become a director or something. So like he actually picks apart the movies and explains everything, and it's really interesting to listen to.
Is he up on YouTube or?
Ryan, something. I have to go look.
Yeah. Could you link me to him?
Yeah, sure.
Maybe put a link in the description too for other people.
Yeah, maybe.
No.
Ryan Hollinger. Pretty good in my opinion.
Thank you. What?
Yeah! It was exactly.
Huh?
Any recently seen on your end, Tiger?
No, I haven't seen a single thing aside from Friday Part 3.
Huh.
This is the shortest recently seen we've ever had, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
same.
I think so.
My god. Well, there's a first thing for everything. First time for everything. God. Well then, shall we move on?
We
Shall.
shall roll the trailer, I guess.
Yep.
Let's roll it.
Weekends are a good time to escape to the woods. Unless the weekend begins with Friday the 13th. Because 13 is an unlucky number. But out here, so are 1 through 12. Because these are Jason's woods. And nobody leaves them alive. Friday the 13th, Part 3, in 3D. Jason, you can't fight him. You can't stop him. And now, you can't even keep him on the screen. Friday the 13th, Part 3, in 3D. Now, when it comes to killing in Jason's woods, Jason will come to you. Friday the 13th, Part 3, in 3D. A new dimension in terror. It will scare you. Count on it.
Jason Voorhees is back from his last encounter in Friday the 13th, Part 2. With a new look but the very same killing spirit, as he sets his eyes on Chris Higgins and her friends, who has made their way to her family cabin, Higgins Haven, for a weekend of partying and sex. The carefree weekend turns, however, soon into a weekend of terror when Jason turns up to crash the party. And so, what people thought of the movie? Joseph,
Right
want
back.
to go first?
Yes.
Huh?
Baby shark.
Oh, Lord.
Joseph,
Yes.
I throw the ball to you.
Yes.
I want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I can't remember what I said on Friday the 13th, Part 2, that episode. But I've never been a huge fan of neither Part 2 nor Part 3 of the Friday franchise. That might upset fanboys out there, but I don't care. Why? I don't know, to be honest. Why I don't like them as much as I like the later installments in the series. But for each time I watch these movies, they just turn more and more into background noise, you know. And with part 3, I just gets really, really bored from the end of the prologue up until when Jason gets his, trademark, the hockey mask.
Yeah.
Even though there are murders in between those parts of the movie, but I just zoom out when I'm watching Friday Part 3 for some reason. But with that being said, I think that Part 3 is actually slightly better than Part 2.
I'm pretty sure everyone in the world would agree with you too.
No, Part 2 is considered to be the best movie in the franchise.
I don't know
But-
what asshole said that ever.
I think it's because like I think you said this in the pod, but because of like it is the start of Jason and like all the lore and whatnot,
Yeah, well,
and that maybe.
yeah,
I'm not defending it. I'm just saying why
Yes, you
people
are. You're
would
totally
like it.
defending it. I can hear it in your voice.
Hey, I butchered that movie in the last podcast. Don't you dare spill this filth on my good name. How dare you?
Anyway, I think that the kills are overall better in this movie. For example, the machete to the crotch or the spear to the eye. And I think it was a good choice of the filmmakers to not make Jason into a slapsticky, bumbling idiot here like they did in part 2. I guess this is the installment in the series where Jason is starting to become the iconic man slasher, which he has become.
This is the start of the revolution.
Yeah, or something. The last chase here is just phenomenal in my opinion, and I actually prefer it over the one in part 2. The only downside with it, I think, is that it's over way too quickly. It should have been like 2 or 3 minutes longer, but you know.
Yeah.
But like I said earlier, I get really bored by the movie right after the prologue, up until the part where Jason finally has gotten his hands on the hockey mask, and the mayhem starts to ramp up. There are, of course, bits and pieces that I enjoyed during the movie, besides, the beginning and the last 30 minutes. Like the scene in the beginning when Shelley creeps up on Andy and he quote unquote stabs him, and Andy says, "God damn it, Shelley! Why do you always have to be such an asshole?" And Shelley answers, "I beg your pardon. I'm not an asshole. I'm an actor." And Andy's response is same thing. But yeah, but for each rewatch of the movie, it just gets harder and harder for me to actually concentrate on the movie, like I said, and to not, to not reach for my phone and start to check Facebook and such.
It's just a movie to put in background rather than actually actively watch it.
Yeah.
After a few watches.
Yeah. But do I hate the movie? Absolutely not. But I don't rank it as high as a lot of other Friday fans do. I actually prefer the later, more dumb sequels, like Part 5. And if I would give it a rating, I would give it 7.5 out of 10, I think. It's slightly...
Still like a pretty good rating.
Yeah, well, it's slightly higher than Part 2, but, But yeah, that's my thoughts on the movie.
Anyone else want to take the spotlight while it's still hot?
I guess I'll take it from here. I really, really liked this movie, especially over number two. The characters were a lot better, in my opinion. The setup for the kills were better, and just like the pranks and stuff that Shelley pulled, like made my day so much better. Um, Speaking of Shelley is definitely love life for this movie. Everything about him, from his hair to his feet, was fucking amazing. I kind of wish he was still chunky afterwards, but you know, I can't tell an actor what to do with his body.
I
Yeah.
actually think Larry Cerner, the actor who played Shelley, yeah, I think he works as an what's it called? Lawyer in
Oh, that's a
Hollywood
shame.
nowadays.
Huh. I mean, big money for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna go down as no fucking gold digging bitch. That's something that's not gonna happen. But yeah, overall, all the characters were amazing just to watch. Although there was like, I forget which one it was. I'm pretty sure it was one of the girls. Um, One of the girls were really annoying. Or maybe it was no, it wasn't the girls. It was Shelly's friend, whatever the name of the guy was that invited him
Andy.
onto the trip.
Andy,
Yeah. Yeah, I think he was the annoying one.
he's the
Just
guy.
like-
He's the one who gets the machete to the crotch.
Yeah. I laughed my fucking ass off at that death because it's like, why would you even walk up or downstairs like that? Oh shit! Like with your on your hands like that. That's just ridiculous.
It's a weird
Um,
flex, that's all it is.
Yeah, weird flex, but okay.
It was the 80s.
I don't care what year it is. That's some bullshit. You don't that's just stupidness. But yeah, I didn't like him personally for whatever reason. I think it was mainly because he was like yo-yoing on top of his girlfriend and just like hitting her in the face, which I found to just be like really disrespectful.
Rude.
Not like really disrespectful, but disrespectful. And her just like thinking, oh, it's okay. Just hit me in the face a couple times with your yo-yo. Like the two of them together were annoying pieces of shit who I'm glad both died.
They deserve each other.
I don't think I actually saw how Shelley died. I might have alt tabbed at that, but to actually know that Shelley died in that movie is a shame.
Like,
He got
What
got
I-
his throat cut or
that's-
slit.
That's a shame.
yeah. And then because of all his numerous pranks, the girl didn't believe
Yeah,
him when he came, like,
Shelley.
dying.
That
Yeah.
scene is pretty hilarious when she realizes that Shelley really is dead. I mean, she doesn't seem to be in any great hurry to get away.
She's also a stoner, so she's pretty
Yeah,
sure.
well, but
so-
you know,
Wait.
she doesn't smoke heroin, for God's sake.
Wait, I thought. Hold on. I didn't think she was the one who was smoking pot. I thought she was the one who was in the car saying I'm allergic to pot when they got pulled over to the police.
no, I
Yeah,
think
the
it was
police.
Shill and the other dude that was both the stoners.
I believe the girl that says that she's allergic to pot is the main character.
Yeah, because Shelly or whatever her name was the one that Shelly had a crush on, but was always pranking.
No. Shelley was the stoner. Shelley and Chuck was the stoners. What the fuck were her name? Vera, I think.
Something like that.
Yeah, she was Shelley's date. She's the one who gets the
Arrow to the eye.
arrow. It was a spear.
Close enough.
Same shit, really.
A spear is just a bigger arrow. Okay.
Exactly.
Also, I thought it was hilarious to see her just get fucking nailed in the eye with that shit. That was just funny.
That was good times.
Yeah.
So I guess you liked the movie then, Tiger.
Honestly, not really. I still feel like it was like a subpar movie because I didn't even realize the movie was near its end until like I hovered my mouse over it and I was like, oh, we got like 35 minutes in the film left, and like
Yeah, it moved so fast. You to like, what's gonna happen next? And then like, the movie's almost over. How about that?
but like I would say least overall characters in the fucking movie were the bikers. I'm glad to see that they fucking died. The although the white guy, I don't know his name, the white biker guy. To see him just get impaled.
They're called Ali, Fox, and for fuck's sake,
Something.
Jesus.
I don't think that's an actual name, no.
You're sure about that?
I'm
Yeah.
HIV positive.
Hold on, I'm gonna check what his name was. Else I'm gonna be annoyed.
I feel
But
like
like I'm not concerned about the actor's name, the character's name. I don't know. I don't really care. It's just to see him like basically have Jason walk up to him and just slide the fucking rake into his chest was stupid to see because it's
The character's name was Loco.
amazing names in this movie. You got Loco, you got Chill, and then you got Shell.
yeah, all three of them were fucking idiots. I'm glad they died. But I thought the black guy had died earlier on
Yeah.
when Jason was hitting him with the machete because I thought he was like chopping off his
No,
arm.
he was hitting him with a hammer.
Yeah, Isabel explained it to me like later on in the movie.
Yeah.
He was
okay,
just-
yeah, yeah.
You mean Angel?
Yeah, Angel, Isabella.
But what rating would you give it, Tiger?
I guess 5, maybe 4.5 out of 10. If I give it a 5, it'd be because most of the characters were likable to an extent. There were like 4 characters, as I mentioned, that I didn't like. The rest of them seemed to be pretty fine. Still not a big fan of the way they like. I'm not a big fan of the way Jason like tried to chase them, but I guess as again Angel explained it to me, he wasn't like a very good Jason killer, if that makes sense. He was terrible at killing, as she explained to me, and that's to be expected, you know. It's whatever. He could have,
He's just lucky
yeah.
that he meets people that's easy to kill, even though it's bad at killing.
Well, that's a slasher movie for you.
But like, I don't know. I feel like they all had chances to leave or get away prior to the fucking bikers outing, like siphoning out their gas.
But there weren't really any danger then, were there?
True, but I mean, if the main girl knows that like we shouldn't be here because I had an experience here that wasn't okay, I almost got murdered, you would think you would be able to like tell your friends that and they would understand and you'd be like, oh, let's go
Speaking
halfway
of,
across the country away from that place and just like have fun over there, you know?
I think she were trying to like conquer her fear
Yeah,
and
that's
like
exactly
go
what she
back.
wanted to do.
So
spe-
she wasn't really the voice of reason.
speaking of which, did anyone else get the vibe that they implied that Jason raped her?
I
Yeah.
didn't.
I got that feeling.
Yeah.
I'm simply too stupid.
I think that's just horseshit.
Oh, I think I know what scene you're talking about when she's like retelling the experience to her
Yeah.
friends about her survival. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that part I got. Yeah,
I mean,
Is she talking about like being pregnant and shit?
I yeah. I don't
No,
remember her saying anything about being
that's
pregnant, but that shit was crazy.
Oh,
The-
okay,
the-
that's
the-
someone else.
I didn't
the-
remember that part.
that was Debbie. It's Chris who talks about the
Same
experience
shit,
meeting,
different name, really.
Jason. But you know, Jason isn't a rapist; he's a murderer. So
Yeah.
I don't see what the difference is.
I really, I really don't understand why they put something like that into the movie. To be honest.
Make it scarier.
So
Yeah, and considering like Jason's character, the way he were, I don't know if it defends it or not, or explains it at all. But considering he was like shut away from like the rest of the world since 11, and like the only real other person he ever like talked to were his mother. So I don't know if he really had those like,
Social skills.
I guess, social skills or urges, considering his urges
Um,
before
Oh yeah.
Well,
Stab
okay, I'm gonna say
people.
like this. Sexual stuff. That is an like, what's it called? It's an it isn't. God, what's it called? A primal urge and stuff. So, majority of people, let's say about 98% of people has this urge, unless you're asexual. So yeah, I'm pretty sure he has it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
he
yeah,
just
everybody
directs
has
it
it,
to.
but I don't think he obviously his bloodlust overcomes his ability for like a sexual lust. So there's no way he
Yeah.
would like actually go and rape somebody. At least not until after he's brutally chopped.
Okay, so he's a necrophile now too.
Yeah, he has the
unle-
urge of a different kind of penetrating.
Unless he attacked Chris before he saw his mother got decapitated.
Yeah, that depends on where like that attacking is with the rest of the story, considering they came back 2 years after like the attack, and they came also back after the attack of the people in the second movie. Like the killing of his mother must have been within that
Well, part two.
after.
Part two takes place 5 years after the first movie.
Yeah, so like in that case,
I
it's
think
not
the first
really possible.
I think the first movie takes place in 1979, and part 2, 3, and 4 takes place in 84.
Mm,
I mean,
but yeah,
84 or not, I still don't think Jason's gonna like up and rape somebody. If
No.
anything,
no.
his sexual urge would be connected to his mother, since that's the only like real female he has like any type of a bond with.
Mm,
So Jason got mommy issues.
Yeah, oh yeah,
well,
major
he
mommy
certainly
issues.
does.
He's a mama's
Especially when he
boy.
has an entire fucking like shrine dedicated to her. Speaking of which,
Her head
since I'm
specifically.
talking about the shrine, I want to go back to the first part of the movie when like the girl like dresses throws on his mother's sweater.
Yeah,
That was pretty dope. That was a pretty dope way to like calm Jason down and try to get him off of you so you can put in a couple blows.
Honestly, I think that ending is kind of dumb. To be completely honest, it sounds like I'm shitting on part 2, but I do enjoy that movie. But I think it's less entertaining than the later sequels.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I personally also really like it because it's like clever and also plays into the fact that he has like a very strong connection with his mother in that part, and also brings her back kinda in the second movie.
Yeah, as
and
a
how,
cameo.
yeah, and I just think it's like clever to like show that a character or like a person like Jason actually has a weakness, and that is his mother.
Pretty much, yeah.
Mother and water.
But
Mommy issues.
Angel, do you want to go or should I go?
I can go, I guess. I thought the movie was actually plain and boring, and it's like, it was a snore fest. The only thing that I liked was probably Shelley being a fucking asshole and joking around and shit. I liked his death.
Wow, how you gonna say that about my man's?
Oh, sorry, I know. Like, we're being like BFFs here and all, but I mean, in general, I thought the movie was okay. Nothing I want to like rewatch right away, but I've watched it maybe 10 times already. So I mean,
Not no real rewatch quality.
no,
yet.
not really.
I'm a special case.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, I've rewatched it with several friends, and I mean, Friday the 13th has when Joseph still lived here. Every Friday the 13th, we used to sit down and we used to watch a Friday the 13th movie. So I've seen it several times because of that, and it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
it still is like, It's not a movie that I will pick up and watch because, hey, I want to watch this. It's more like, oh, you want to watch it? Okay, whatever, let's watch it.
Or if you're gonna watch the entire franchise.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. That's about the rewatch value it is for me. What's it called? The bunny in the beginning is cute, so that's my
Yes.
favorite character.
I knew it.
Hey, everyone else is fucking soulless. What do you want?
How dare you? Shelley is not soulless. He may
but-
be
but-
a prick, but he's
but-
not soulless.
But by the way, Tiger, what did you think about the guy in the beginning? You know.
The shop owner, or whatever.
yeah. What did you think about him? I mean, he
Yes.
had a pretty big mustache going on there.
Yeah, he did. I'm not attracted to mustaches.
Oh,
Like, I mean, if you have it, that's fine. But like, it's not my drawing in factor.
yeah. Oh, okay.
Um,
Yeah.
He seemed like a pretty
yeah.
decent character, especially. Sorry, what were you
No,
saying?
no, no, go on.
Notes.
Oh, I was just gonna say he seemed like a pretty decent character, especially after he started like taking care of the bunny. His marriage is very piss poor. Like, I don't know if the actress who played the wife was supposed to be that much of a bitch, but she really fucking sold it.
I think it's.
Well, what else are you supposed to do when your husband doesn't help at home and all he does is eat his own?
I think it's kind of.
I mean,
I think it's.
I
I mean, they don't
I-
get any customers any fucking way, so it's like, why let the food go to waste?
So I thought you were gonna say like he was very well hung, and I'm like, so when so what scene did we miss out on?
What? Well hung.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say that he has a big dick. I'm like, what?
Well, I'm gonna be honest and say same.
Until you said such, I'm like, okay, director's cut on the dick or what?
Oh yeah, don't you know? Joseph owns all the director cuts. He's seen all the dick shots.
Ah, right, yeah, his personal little stash that he hides under his bed.
It's why he likes. It's probably why he likes part 2 so much. He got to see all the dick shots.
No, that's it. Yeah.
Wow.
Your soul slowly leaving your body,
Yeah.
and you will
I'm
to
gonna
live.
go into my toilet and hang myself when we're done recording this.
It's a weird position to hang yourself over. Why the toilet?
I don't know.
I mean, then the bowel moment will go down in the toilet rather on the floor.
Yeah, exactly.
So the value of the apartment will not go down. Besides that, there's been a suicide.
I mean, I don't know if it would actually go into the toilet. I'm pretty sure it would like drip down his legs and probably hit the side of the toilet or the
Well,
toilet
you can
seat.
tie his legs together, like exactly over the toilet.
You would have to.
It's so specific with your death.
The way is, if you wanted him to like actually hit the toilet, he would have to like hog tie himself and hang himself.
Like
Upwards.
you could just hang yourself forever and just hang yourself over a big bucket with the same result.
Yeah, but I
Fair.
mean the shit is still getting on the body. That's my issue. That's the disgusting part. Like the only way you would have to keep the body clean would have to be to like hog tie and hang himself, which I don't think would work necessarily.
I'm just gonna say I don't think he's gonna care because it's gonna be very.
Why are we talking about this?
You started it.
Actually, he didn't start it. I started this because like I knew I knew where this was going to go, so I wanted to like segue as fast as possible into it. I just I don't know, the whole like bowel movement just it destroys the body because it just like drips down the legs. It doesn't do anything good for anybody.
So, Angel, what is your rating?
Nice segue, zombie.
This is like taking the car. I would give it. Oh God, would I give it?
2.
Yeah, probably 2 war pieces out of 10. It's that boring to me. There's no review value in it, and it's plain, and it's just like, why should I watch it?
Fair.
So, do you think the movie would have been more entertaining if you had seen it in proper 3D?
No.
Definitely not.
That 3D part that they kept doing was absolutely garbage.
Yeah, it was just like,
Yeah.
why is this here?
I think it was because it was like in the craze of making everything 3D.
Yeah. Every third installment in a bunch of horror franchises had 3D, like Amityville 3 and Jaws 3 and Friday the 13th Part 3.
Yeah, I think
Final
like
Destination
a
3D.
lot of movies during the time itself used
But then
3D.
But then again, I think at that point, like around the 80s, maybe early 90s, people were like, 3D was still just becoming a thing and people wanted to experiment with it, which I mean is all
Yeah.
fine and good. But like,
Well,
if you're going to experiment with,
they had 3D back in the 50s as well.
It can be also
to
that
be honest, I'm not that old.
3D blew up a little bit more during this period of time.
Well,
Yeah, maybe
3D
a specific
3D
movie
comes
maker.
back like every 30 years. It seems like
Kind of like
it came in the 50s, and then it came back in the 80s, and then it came back in the 2010s.
yeah.
It's like it's never gonna end, and it's just haunting us.
No, it is
We're
going
just-
to end at some point because I want to say maybe the 2040s when virtual reality is like something you can literally walk into. You won't need 3D anymore. You'll be able to put yourself inside the movie and just like spectate everything from like every angle.
Hmm.
Mm.
But like, I just feel like 3D is fine and good if it's not like forced down your throat every other scene.
Yeah,
Which,
and if it's like used for like specific scenes or to make like big wow rather than just make like things that could have been without the 3D, like
yeah, like
rather than
I think it's Jill. I think that was the biker chick's name. I honestly, like I said, I don't remember. I don't care.
Who?
Um, the biker chick
Fox.
from, yeah, that's her name. There we go.
Yep.
Like I said, don't know, don't care. But the 3D would have been well timed if like as the white biker guy looked away, we saw Jason come up and actually stab her, like through the chest or whatever, as like after she swung back to like give her that final swing and then took her off and set her up on the wall.
yeah.
That would have been a nice use of 3D.
Mm,
Mainly because I don't think anybody would have expected it.
yeah,
But
it would have taken many by surprise.
but yeah, just like every other scene being something done in 3D just like ruins it for everybody. Cause like, wow, there's a stick coming to my face. Wow, the title card is coming to my face. Wow, the end credits are doing it too. Oh my god, it's so amazing. Please just fucking stop.
And that yo-yo coming to your face.
Yeah, yeah.
And a-
Why
and a
why was the
puppet
yo-yo
guy.
thing even a fucking scene? Like I understand everybody's playing around, having a good time, but that was just fucking stupid.
Why is a filler
this-
scene?
And the bitch was like, haha, close, you almost got me, when it clearly hit her in the fucking face.
Yeah, very passionate feelings about this yo-yo.
I'm just irritated
I love
at the
it.
yo-yo being a fucking thing.
Tiger's a bit cranky today.
I'm sorry.
Yes, a bit.
It's okay, man.
Everything
It's
is
okay.
just like the only, like I said, the only saving grace for that film was Shelley. Otherwise, that movie gets a fucking 1 out of 10.
Harsh. Okay, Zombie. Well, what
My time.
are your thoughts on the movie?
My thoughts. Wasn't really that like memorable of a movie, I would say, despite it being like the first time of the iconic like Jason, because all of the time he had that hockey mask and looked like, ah, I am the iconic, I am looking so badass. All I could remember back in my head was him from the second movie and how much of a bumbling idiot he was. And imagine just this Jason being that same person, just being that same bumbling idiot, and I'm like, yeah, he's just. I feel sorry for him. He's having a bad day. He
The
can't
funny
kill.
thing is that this movie takes place the day after part 2. So it technically Saturday the 14th.
I think like mostly it lacks character, I would say, because it had similarities with like how the movie started with like the ending of the first one, of the second one, kind of like Halloween, the second Halloween, and also the way it ended was like the first Friday the 13th, but instead they have reversed the roles of the mother
Yeah.
and son, which made even less sense than the first one, because Jason drowned in that lake, so it would make sense that his child corpse would pop up rather than the beheaded mother that died by the water. And like as Tiger said, before you realize it, the movie was like almost over, and it's just not really much happened, and it was just there, to be the third movie.
Yeah.
And it's better than the second one, sure, but it doesn't really make it necessarily a good movie per se, in my opinion. It's just, I don't know.
Slasher
I
movies are usually not good movies, but they're entertaining movies.
Yeah,
They're
it's just
cheap thrills, basically.
yeah. I just felt like this one didn't have anything to bring to the table, like in any way, shape, or form, because other slashers, sure, they're there to slash and have fun, but I feel like they also have something they bring, either with the killer or with like
The
the environment they're in.
or like the side characters that they may try to introduce. There's like maybe
Yeah,
discourse between them to keep you involved
Hey,
in the
Jody.
movie
You come back?
yeah,
before the killer finally shows up and takes everybody down.
yeah. Which is why other movies are as popular as they are as slashers, because they have something to bring more than just being a slasher, although that's the main point. And I felt like this had nothing in that. It's just had what makes a slasher rather and
Well,
bringing nothing more.
the thing this movie brings to the table, at least as a, as part of the franchise, is that Jason gets his hockey mask, which is
Yeah.
basically the same thing as the knife glove for Freddy, and
Hmm.
the
Or
Yeah.
Michael's
Yeah.
mask.
the Captain Kirk mask.
Mm.
Yeah. I just feel like this movie existed just to give him this like upgrade and nothing more. He has a new mask. Let's throw some victims at him. Go.
Well, the Friday
But
the Friday
it
movies
it
brought in a lot of money to cinemas, so it was a bloody cash cow that Paramount
Milked.
the budgets of the movies were really low, but the money they got back from them from the cinemas were huge. Like the budget could be like 1.5 million, but each
yeah.
installment brought in like between 18 and 40 million, I think.
Mm. But as a movie, it's like yes, you can watch it in the background and have it on, and it was good to watch it for the first time ever, just having seen it, and it does makes me excited to see the rest of the franchise, considering if it's like one of the bad ones, it makes me excited to see the good ones.
Well, the
So
the
there's
later
that.
sequels aren't really good.
Good. It's
Yeah,
just
exactly. They are stupid slasher movies, basically. And yeah, but
They are where
Yeah.
they are supposed.
I'm actually looking forward to the next installment we're gonna talk about.
yeah, but like sure it can stand on its own legs.
Two leg. Well,
I forgot plural existed, okay? But yeah, I would rate this movie a 5 out of 10 actually.
And that's pretty decent. I got a question for you guys. What did you think about Richard Brooker's portrayal of Jason?
so I'm gonna. Well, I'm gonna complain a little bit because I'm a fangirl of what's his face?
Kane Hodder.
Yeah, I'm a fangirl of his. Like, I love his Jason, and it's perfect.
Which Jason was that?
We have. I don't think we have seen him yet.
No, he
Ooh.
comes. He portrayed Jason from Part 7 up until Jason X.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I'm a big fangirl of Kane Hodder. Like,
Yeah,
he's great.
I'm a huge fan of Kane as well. But yeah, what do you guys think about Brooker?
Um,
Like, I only have like experience of the second and third one, so I can only base my Jason on off of those two actors.
Yeah.
So I don't really have much to go
Well,
by. So please go first, Tiger.
technically, it was two actors who did Jason in part two. One of them
Hmm.
were a stuntman. I think his name was Steve Dash. He passed away last year, unfortunately.
Aw.
And his last movie were actually a Friday the 13th fan movie called Vengeance. I got it queued up to watch. I'll come back on that one. But yeah,
Yeah.
technically it was two guys who played Jason in the second one.
Hmm. I think Jason was pretty okay. Nothing really worthwhile, but yeah, not bad. That's what I
Uh,
can say.
Tiger,
Yeah.
your thoughts?
um, considering, I guess, Friday the 13th, part 2 and 3 are the first times we see Jason after his mother dies. For him to be a stumbling, bumbling type of killer is, I'm gonna give him a pass for being a stumbling, bumbling killer because you have to like grow into it. Um, you have to like
Yeah.
hone your skills to be a menacing killer. Um, it's not to say that like he was bad, but I think just like Angel and yourself, I'm probably more experienced with the newer Jason, the Kane Hodder, and whichever ones came after him. Um, so to actually regress and see Jason's upbringing, to see him like come up into being a killer is a little bit off-putting, but it's fine. Um, maybe he could improve, maybe. But since these are his first two like sets of killings, it's fine. I'm not gonna like take any points away from him. Just like I would say if he were still alive and if they were to like do a reboot of the Jason movies again with him as the Jason, I would say he would need to definitely up his game after everybody else because like I said, the first two times being a stumbling bumbling killer is fine, but if you're gonna reboot, renew, and remaster a movie, you have to bring something much better. You have to be you have to you have to be in your element. You have to like after seeing everybody else, you have to be able to do better, see what they do, improve, see where their failures were, improve, and just come harder, hit harder, kill harder.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
at the same time, you gotta remember there weren't any Friday the 13th, the final chapter, or a new beginning, or Jason
No,
lives
no,
on.
I know that's why I was like I give him a pass for
It's
like
it's
being
sort
the
of
Jason that he
it's
was.
it's sort of like with A Nightmare on Elm Street Part Two, where they went in a completely different route with Freddy, and you have to remember that there weren't any Dream Warriors, there weren't any Dream Master, the Dream Child, and so on. So they I guess they tested their grounds.
Yeah. Like, they can't base their Jason on anyone else but like the script
No,
and themselves.
no, I completely understand that, and like I said, I'm not like I'm not harshing on him being the first Jason. I'm not harshing on it at all. I think he did. I feel like for being the first Jason, he did
Yeah,
spectacular. Um,
but
you can't.
now he must be better.
Yeah, like if he were still alive to this day, and he were like if he were called up to be the Jason for like another Jason reboot timeline, that's when he would have to do
Then,
better, improve,
yeah.
and
Wait.
be.
Are we talking about part 2 now?
We're talking what?
I don't know anymore. We're
Yeah,
talking about
well,
Jason
we're all
We're
in
over the
we're
place
general.
still
here.
we're still on Jason. We're still on Jason 3, but like I believe both in Jason 3 and Jason 2 he I don't remember the name of Jason 3's
Richard Brooker.
Richard
Yeah.
Brooker. Thank you.
He
Richard
unfortunately
Brooker.
passed away in 2013.
No, I know. I read
Oh,
up on that.
okay, yeah, all right.
I was just saying, like, if he were still alive to this day, if he were called up and asked to be the new Jason to finish up that timeline or to like restart that timeline, he would definitely have to do better and bring more to the table if he were still
Uh,
alive. But still, he didn't do bad as Jason. I feel like he did very well.
yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
I feel like there was times where the editing could have been better, or like for like kills and stuff. Especially, I'm gonna bring back to the barnyard with the white biker guy. Again, I don't remember his name.
Loco.
Um, when he got impaled by the rake, the editing for that looked fucking terrible because you can't just like walk up and just slowly put a rake through somebody. That I'm pretty sure that's not how that works. You need like heavy
Well,
force.
I guess it was filmed that way because 3D. Jason comes towards the screen with whatever the fuck it was. I can't remember what it's called.
Pitchfork.
Pitchfork.
Pitch.
Yeah.
There you go. Not a rake.
So I guess it was filmed that way because to get get it in more 3D into the movie.
I guess that's fair, but like they should have taken into account the fact that they're like that 3D wasn't going to be like this big fucking major thing throughout the rest of the 80s. It was going to like be here for a little while and then die off. So they should have made proper arrangements to film something that actually had like value after the 3D was over, or after like when the comes out as like a VHS or a DVD or what the hell have you. It can still be seen and
2D.
still have a scare factor
Yeah.
as a 2D, as a typical like 2D thingy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that just like that leaves a bad taste in my mouth because it's like I mean, it's not to say that there weren't any horror movies in the 80s. There weren't any horror movies in the 70s. I'm sure there were many that I don't know about. So they should have been able to like learn from that. And if the 50s had 3D, they could have like learned from that to build something that wasn't going to be dog shit.
If
For a
I
kill.
remember correctly, on what's it called? On the Crystal Lake Memories documentary, if I remember correctly, they actually talk about the 3D in the movie and how difficult it was to work with it, to make it work in the movie. And from what I've heard, the 3D is pretty good when you actually see it in proper 3D.
I mean, I bet because I think I saw Spy Kids 3D to see like the fights in that was actually spectacular when it like came out at you.
Yeah.
But you also have to work with the understanding that maybe there's going to be some people who can't afford to see it in 3D, so they're just going to pick it up as a 2D standard movie and watch it for that. So you have to build for both audiences. you have to be able to make sure that people can see it in both versions
Well,
without it being.
Friday the 13th Part 3 has never been released with proper 3D on
What do you mean?
home video.
Like, uh, you mean like without 3D, like properly released, or
I mean, they haven't released it with, so you can sit in your couch and watch it with 3D glasses on a 3D TV.
Yeah.
It's just the red blue
Right.
colored.
the red blue 3D
Yeah,
glasses?
exactly. They've only released that
Yeah.
version of the movie, and I haven't seen the movie in that version, but I own it on Blu-ray.
And I guess my other gripe is going to end up being like you said, they said it was difficult to work with 3D. That's fine. I'm no film student. I'm gonna take their word and say 3D is like difficult. I don't really know. But if it's gonna be that difficult, and you knew it was gonna be that difficult when you filmed the movie, to try and like make it 3D, like why not fucking scrap it? Make it as a standard. See how that sells. If you're gonna bring it back, do that. Bring it back as 3D. Do whatever you need to make these gripping not films. What's the word? Scenes. I'm sorry. Make these gripping scenes as 3D. If that's a thing that you can do. If not, it's fine. I'm not gonna touch it.
I guess they made the movie in 3D because it was a gimmick, and people love gimmicks.
No, I
So-
perfectly understand that. I'm not saying they did it for any other reason than it to be a
Yeah.
gimmick. That's fine. That's if you got to make money off a gimmick, you do what you got to do. I'm not gonna like side eye you. I'm not gonna shame you or anything like that. I'm just saying if you knew it was difficult, like you either have to find a workaround or you have to like make it work. You can't just like half-ass it, because then people are going to sit up there and talk down about it. It's going to be like one of the worst films in your franchise, and who knows if that film had burned as difficult as it may have, as difficult as it should have, there may not have been any. They might not have had any money for any of the other films unless parts 1 and 2 sold like outstandish.
The budget for part 1 was like $500,000, and they got, I can't remember if it was like $50 million or something like that. So yeah, the Friday movies brought a lot of money into the pocket of Paramount.
Then you said part 3 had like a low budget, right?
All of the movies had a low budget.
What was the budget for this one?
I have no
If
clue.
you know.
Hold on.
All right.
And that brings us to trivia.
Well, it's a Friday.
Cause let's wrap this
Well,
up.
it's a Friday movie, so I
feel like you two have been talking like 10 solid minutes about the 3D.
We have, and I'm really sorry. It's just
You're very passionate about the 3D.
The budget for this movie was
Not-
2.3 million, and it grossed $36,690,067 just in the USA.
Then I guess it did what it needed to do.
Yeah, and the opening
Yeah.
weekend
I'll lay
in
down.
the States, it brought in $9,406,522. Just the opening weekend. So, but
Well,
yeah, it's a
it did
Friday
good.
movie. So I haven't dug up any background whatsoever, because there are two extensive documentaries out there called His Name is Jason and Crystal Lake Memories, as I mentioned a bit earlier. And there's also a book called Crystal Lake Memories, which the documentary is based upon. And there are a shit ton of background information out there if you're interested in the Friday the 13th franchise. Some empty.
Well, it's understandable when it's like this big of a franchise.
The,
Like, and legit, the only thing that I caught up about in like maybe trivia was that Shelley's name, like his full name was Shelley Finkelstein, which and the only thing I could draw that to was like it being like a very subtle nudge to Mary Shelley and her best-selling book Frankenstein.
yeah.
It may have been unintentional or not, but I felt like it
Yeah, I actually
may have been.
didn't know that.
Wait,
The more you know.
wait, what was Intentional Zombie? I missed that.
Shelley Finkelstein was the character's name, and it may have been a nudge to Mary Shelley and her best-selling book Frankenstein.
Ah. Yeah, that.
I'm not
That-
sure if they meant it, but maybe.
I mean, I never noticed it because I never learned dude's last name. But, like, that's definitely something that may actually be a thing.
Tiger is just
Yeah.
out for the fast shag.
Good on them.
I am. I'm out for the pussy, like hard.
Dang.
Well, then it's time to wrap things up.
Yeah.
What song will we be playing out with?
We are gonna play out with that funky disco tune by Harry Manfredini that is playing in the intro of the movie, and I think it's playing over the end credits as well. I have no clue what it's called, but it's funky and it's disco.
It fits.
Yeah.
And
I
what
got one last thing I just wanna throw out there. Have
Yeah.
you guys seen the video meme with the scene where you know at the end of the movie when Jason is trashing the barn searching for Chris? There's a video meme with that scene, and it goes with the text, "When you're late and can't find the keys."
it's too relatable.
Oh yeah.
I can link it to you guys when we're done here.
Like just thrashing the place. Where?
Been there, done that, went to many times.
Yeah. But what will the viewers be expecting for the next pod?
Next part is the Christmas special. Whoop, whoop.
Oh yeah.
Let me pull up the names real fast. We are gonna be watching Silent Night and Synth. I don't remember where they are from, but they are not.
I think Silent Night is from 2010. It's the remake of Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Yeah, and Synth is a movie from where was that?
I know it's Dutch, at least, but I don't know which year it was released.
It's not the year I was thinking about. I was thinking about where in the world it was. From.
Yeah, it's Dutch.
So we're finally gonna review something that isn't American made. I believe we have done it in the past, but
Blödaren.
shut the fuck up. We don't speak of that evil here. Begone, Satan.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so it's gonna be something that isn't American. And maybe not
Yeah.
as big name as anything else we've been reviewing for the past.
So look forward to that.
Yeah.
And as such, it's time to say goodbye to the good people. Bye, and thank you for watching or listening to the video in this case. And I'll see you in the next podcast.
Yeah, goodbye, good folks, and thanks for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode, hopefully. Bye-bye.
Later, people. Hopefully we see you in the next film. Don't die.
Goodbye,
Talk
good
about
people.
being enthusiastic.
Yeah. Goodbye, good people. Thank you all so much for listening to us, and I hope you will come back in the next episode for the Christmas special.